Hey everyone, thank you for being here. Okay, we are getting ready for the beginning of a new week. Things feel very different. It feels like we have finally achieved. We finally have achieved. I keep hearing the word pinnacle, even though there's always more to achieve, there's always more to do. It feels like we are, as a collective, as a whole, more pointed, directed, focused, and all of those things are wonderful. So, the vibe for the day, before we get started on the actual reading, I pulled this mug, and on one side, on the inside, it has a little flower. It's not on the other side, but we do have birds and snails and dragonflies and ladybugs and all sorts of things. And what I heard, because I almost pulled out the writable mug, because what I heard when I asked Spirit, so what do I say is, for the collective? What is the general overarching dominant energy for this week in general, I feel? And I just heard freedom. Freedom to pursue ideas, things you want to pursue, the freedom to, and I realize we are full on, smack on in Mercury retrograde right now, but you know what? You can't stop your life. And I feel like this instance, it's going to be one which encourages self-reflection, but also forward movement. So this one feels very different. Normally you just kind of want to retreat. I know I do want to retreat, recover, regroup, all the REs, for a retrograde. Not this time. I feel like that's happened already. And so right now, the majority of the people who will resonate with this feel this intense impetus to get started, get going, get on the ball with plans. So that's empowering at the least. So why this mug? I think because it's all things that have the ability to fly. And that was the commonality that I noticed. It was peaceful and nurturing, but all of these things have the ability to fly, that are living. Well, the flowers are living too, but I mean the birds, the dragonflies, the ladybugs, well, maybe not the snail. So maybe that's the RE part for the retrograde. That's the rest part. Find your shell, recover, recuperate. But don't forget that you actually have wings. You can fly. Okay. Oh yeah, and I don't know if you guys see this guy back here. I put a candle on top of him. I've had him for years. I've had him for absolutely years. And it just, he popped into my head. And so I went digging around trying to find him, and found him in a closet of all things. And I thought, no, it's time. It's time to bring out the wise old one. So the wise old tree. Okay, that's going to have significance in the very near future. And I don't know how or why, but it will. All right, so we are moving into our era of enlightened freedom. All right, I know it's a pretty mug and everything, but I'm going to keep it right here because I want that coffee. All right, let's get started with this one. It's the, it was really loud. Sorry about that. The Sirens song, let's see if I can do this a little more gingerly. It is a combination of a Lenormand and a Kipper deck. And so they are, there may be a little bit of overlapping with some of the cards, but that's okay. That's the beauty of combining the decks. Now, okay. And when I was getting ready to shuffle, and I split the deck in half, they're all facing one way except for these two. And it's expectation and the sun. Now, whether you're reading a Lenormand or a tarot, the sun is still a very positive card. An expectation, someone is waiting for a change. Well, the change is here. The change is here. So someone has been waiting for a change in order to take action. So just remember, as in the snail that's on the mug, the only one without wings, it's okay to rest and think about what you're doing. Come up with a plan. But the main thing is when you need to fly, know that you can. Yeah. Okay. Now, what is the message for the collective? All right. No, just that one. Okay. Okay. Well, this one doesn't. What is it? Murky thoughts. Be careful of on card 33. Be careful of yourself and your murky thoughts, or anyone around you that's trying to feed you a sob story. Don't buy into it. It's, I'm hearing the word contrived. Okay, so that might be a little aside. I don't know if it's going to apply to this reading or not. All right, the two cards that flipped out, let me turn them over. Oh, first we have the bouquet. And these are all aquatic themed, so if you see tentacles coming out of that bouquet, it's because they're really tentacles. And then we have endings. Card 19. Add it together, it's a 10. So endings have to happen for new beginnings to start. All right? And I'm hearing the message of remember who you are. Sometimes you have to go through hardships in order to remember your power, your strength, and who you really are. The past, I don't know how many times I've said this, and it's definitely, I know it fits now because they're reminding me of it. And when I say they, I mean spirit. The good old days weren't good. They were just old. All right. Okay. Good fortune and false person. We had the false person card about a week ago or so. I don't remember now. All right. So let's put those there. Oh, so as you step into your good fortune, there's someone who doesn't want to put the work in, who may try to make life difficult for you. Just understand that. Wealth. Yeah, that kind of validates that. And it's going to be around, money, position, and power. Okay? Kind of earthly endeavors. All right, let's see. A whole lot came out here. Oh, wow. Okay, this is, okay. So I haven't even seen this card in this deck before. I didn't even know it was in there. So we had wealth was the last card that came out, and then unexpected money. So I don't know what that means or where that's coming from. Crossroads. Rich gent. So someone of means. And rich could be rich in spirit, rich in emotion, but because there's so much focus on wealth and unexpected money, and then the word fortune or great fortune, false, that it's kind of leading me to believe this might be about either business, prosperity, all the basically earthly pursuits of wealth is what it means. Okay, and as a spiritual reader, it's like, yeah, we all need it. We all need money, but it just, if you have, help me out, Spirit, because I'm thinking it's easier for me to read about spiritual endeavors, but yet we all need money to function in this world. So if others have baggage around it, help me to understand what's going on. Oh, you're getting ready to drop those bags. That's why you've been struggling, if you've been struggling. So as soon as you drop the concept and the murky thinking around prosperity, your prosperity will increase. And the more you have to share. The more you have to share, the more people that you can share the wealth with, so to speak. Your needs will always be met and taken care of. Well, I surely did not know we were going to have a money reading. Okay, normally I don't do those. But then again, that might have to do with again, this, you don't have to be a martyr. So whoever needs to hear this, I know I need to hear it, but someone out there needs to hear this, because they can tell me this anytime. This is for someone out there. You don't have to be a martyr. You don't have to be sacrificial in order to be spiritual. Okay, that's going to be important for someone. All right, so let's see. Let's just start over, because I haven't even talked about the ones in my hand yet. All right, so we have bouquet, and then we have endings, great fortune, false person. We started out with murky thoughts. I put that one back in the deck. Wealth, unexpected money, crossroads, rich gent, a tower, stars, marriage, child, house, hope, a good lady, and a letter. Okay. That's a whole lot of cards and a whole lot of messages. Yet they want me to open it up in the middle and take one more. All right, who is this? What is this? Oh, and look, I picked up the card and underneath it, the sun again. Deep thoughts. This guy's giving himself a headache. His deep thoughts. All right. Spirit, please step in. Imbue me with the thoughts. Give me the thoughts and the wisdom to know what to say to the collective for whomever this reading will resonate with. Someone feels left behind. Someone feels like they are carrying a heavy burden and a weight. It is all in the mind. Okay? It's all in someone's mind. Man or woman, it doesn't matter. And with the gender on these cards, it can all be very fluid. So please understand that. The deep thoughts and the murky thoughts. Yeah. This is someone, and they're showing me I think it's the Eight of Swords cup, the one where it's somebody standing in a circle of swords, all blindfolded, and all they have to do is stand up. They're not really trapped. They're trapped in their own thoughts. So if you are trapped in your own thoughts, that will impact and have everything to do with lack of wellness, lack of prosperity, lack of pretty much anything positive. According to this, there is going to be a tie that is severed so that someone can step into their wellness. And by good fortune, that to me speaks more of positivity, stepping into the light, stepping into your wealth and abundance of spiritual growth and happiness. Good fortune could mean that doors that were previously closed will now open up to you. Okay? And as soon as those doors open up, everything else just falls into place. There is a false person who is watching, however, but this person is busier watching themselves. They are busier watching themselves than they are anyone else. So even though there could be someone who might try to like sneak in a little bit and, okay, this is what I'm hearing, do a number on your head. So they're trying to get in and manipulate your thoughts. Don't worry about it. Just remember, how do they benefit from this? And if you don't, then you know that's the false person. Because that is, there's a certain amount of ego involved in that card. Whereas this one, that is truly someone that as their fortunes improve, they want to have the ability to share that much more. Because they have a giving spirit. That is very clear. Because this is not a wealthy woman or person. You know, she's carrying all the supplies and the bounty on her head and in her arms, but she's happy. She has what she needs, and she even has enough to share. So that's important. The murky thoughts, the good lady. This good lady is a little more reserved. House, marriage, child, stars, tower. Okay. Crossroads, someone with a lot of resources. The unexpected money and wealth that comes in. I do believe that's because as your fortunes change, doors that were closed will open for you. Now, there are 3 people, I think, involved in this reading. Okay, because that's what I'm getting. So we're just going to go straight into the psychic part of it. So there are 3 people, possibly 4. Actually, I think there are about 4 people involved in this reading. There is someone who, I'm hearing emancipation. So someone who feels emancipated, someone who feels like they are rising into their own strength and power, someone else who wants to grab some of that and might be dabbling in mind play, or pulling strings in a game of manipulation. And someone may actually have been paid to do that. That's a lot messed up. Okay. So someone may have been paid, or I feel like someone was being, I hear the word sponsor. So someone was being sponsored to, they felt like there was going to be a payout in the end. I don't think so. I think that backfired on them. Whomever that is, I think that's also the false person who's going to try to recoup what they can. And male or female, it doesn't matter. I don't really, the gender doesn't matter. And a different marriage card just came up. So this may revolve around a marriage. This may revolve, oh, it does. Okay. All right. So this revolves around a marriage. Absolutely. An imbalance. There was an imbalance of power. There was an imbalance of motivation. Not so much motivation, but power. And as a result, motivations became murky. That word murky is also repetitive. Give me a start to end storyline or reading so I can figure out what to say to the collective, because there are distinct and separate I'm calling them storylines because they're readings, and I'm trying to get it to read like one so that it makes sense to people, because I feel like there's going to be different groups of you pulling on different pieces of this reading, and I don't want that. I want it to be cohesive, because I feel like it's all connected, even if it's just on the fringe. There is a fringe connection between all of these readings involved in this one spread. Look at one more. Mountain. But they said look at the number, card 21. So add it together, it's a 3. And what was under the mountain? Murky thoughts. And under that, the man card. Now, this is someone who is holding on to his, not so much his heart, but his solar plexus, his seat of power. Someone is not mentally healthy, and someone is playing games while still trying to maintain a sense of normalcy, and wants to, deep down, I feel like still wants to have ultimate control over various groups in that person's life. That again is the false person. And that is this person with the murky thoughts. So, there is not a sense of, there is not a sense of self-empowerment. There is a sense of pointing, I'm seeing a finger being pointed outward. It's always someone else's fault. It's always your fault. It's always their fault. It's always whatever, whatever, whatever. So there is a lack of personal accountability for that false person. Will that false person change? I'm asking Spirit. No, probably not. There have been multiple wake-up calls, all of them ignored, or used as fuel for whatever vehicle they're trying to drive to control a narrative. Now, because of that, there are other people. Okay, here's where it's pulling together. Thank you, Spirit. There are other people on the fringe of this who are starting to see truths that are disturbing, starting to wake up to truths, and are not sure what to do. The wings that I kept talking about with this mug and the vibe, those are going to come to fruition sooner rather than later. There are going to be some people who are going to remember they have wings and fly away. It all is starting to feel very sorted and the degree to that sordid nature of things is just coming into fruition. This person or group of people, they have been used, and they are only valuable because of what they have or who they know. That's kind of sad. It is sad. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of, I'm seeing that coffin card again, endings. So I feel like there are going to be yet more endings to be had, and there are going to, but they will be positive because they could be, again, another chance or an opportunity for a wake-up call for that false person, or it could be other people stepping into their power, and with the full knowing of it's okay to admit if you've been duped, but don't stay there after you acknowledge it, or then you're welcoming that negativity. This is a strange one. They've all been strange here lately. I think it's the climate, it's the time, it's the astrology, it's all of it put together. Make sure you are taking care of yourself and your body, because this would be a time that things could break down physically, and it is the last thing anybody needs, okay? That's just a little aside, because I'm asking, why does everything feel like it's falling apart? And in a way, because it is, because it has to. If you are doing a lot of self-exploration in terms of things you thought you had put to rest and baggage you thought you had put down but you hadn't, that's so that you can once and for all unpack those bags and put them down. Okay? This is the season for that. This retrograde is going to be the season for that. And you're already stronger than you were. Watch out, world, when you fully put down those bags. Okay? So what is the culminating message here? Okay, so if anyone has a question about, is there an upcoming marriage? No, that's about a previous marriage. It's about coming to terms with, coming to grips with, or understanding how that has impacted you, and how much it may have jaded you. Or, I know you all don't know this because I've been single for so, not married for so long. So, but yeah, I was married when I was what I like to call young and dumb, and it was a terrifying, horrible experience. I swear I'd never be in a situation like that again. And in some ways I haven't. In some ways I have. And that's not cool. So it's time to reevaluate. Now, there is, okay, so we're going to move away from that reading because it's all about people dropping a burden. Because I'm seeing people just opening their hands and letting things go. So that reading was about dropping burdens that can no longer control you. Okay? They did serve a purpose, but now that purpose has been learned by the majority, not all. Some will trickle along a little, it'll take them a little bit longer to figure out what they were supposed to learn from it. Now, what is coming? Because the past has been difficult, okay? What is coming? When you put in the work, when you do the work, it could be all you ever wanted. It could be peace. It could be harmony. It could be true understanding and a commitment to have someone else's back. So if that's what you're looking for, don't take just the first thing that comes along. Stop, reflect, and make someone prove who they are. And then when someone shows you who they are, believe it the first time. But I do feel like that this is imperative. This time period right now of growth, reflection, and change is imperative because it will impact future decisions. And what was said about a couple of weeks ago We are a combination or a compilation. We are a collection of the decisions we have made in life. Now, future decisions can be beneficial or harmful. I feel like the harmful phase that many are completing, or the uncertainty. For some of you, it's not even harmful, it's just uncertain. So the uncertainty is what's actually going to give you your greatest strength. Thank you. Thank you. Spirit is working so hard to give me the words to say, and if I feel like I'm stuttering a little bit or staccatoed in my speech pattern, it's because this ear feels like it's exploding. And they're trying so hard to not say too much, because I think there's still some discovery that needs to happen. But it makes it difficult to finish up the reading, just because it's like, oh, come on, man, what's going on? Where did I put those? Oh, here they are. Okay. Let's put that there. It's a big box. All right. No, I was going to do one. Oh, I feel like we need, yeah, this one. As soon as I touch the box, I'm like, yeah, that's it. And you know which one it is, Angels and Auras, because it's just such, this just feels like a breath of fresh air, this whole deck. Even the ones that are what I would call a little bit more on the shadow side of a message, this deck truly just feels like a breath of fresh air. Okay. One more time. Okay, they said open it up to the middle. Yay! Oh, this makes me happy. All right, I love when we get, oh my gosh, and on the other side of the stack, I flipped over a card. Oh, look at this. Look what we have. Look what we have. This is so happy. We have two Archangel cards. Beings of light. I like to call them beings of light. First, we have Jophiel and the color pink. If you have been, someone has been thinking about something that is a pinkish color, that's why. So either buying something, or if it's not like, this is orange, you know, but if someone has been thinking about the color pink or gravitating toward that, and you're like, I don't get it, now you do. Okay, because this color is frequently associated with this being of light. It's compassion, self-care, simplification, and beauty. And yet on the other side, and we had her the other day, Haniel, and the color silver. God is psychic, sacred, and proud. But she also is about living in your highest truth and walking a path of beauty. And by that, I don't mean anything outward. I mean the true spiritual beauty inside that we all possess with a perfect soul. So even that false person in the other reading, they have a perfect soul. They have just, I think, been battered along the way, that they have forgotten who they are. All right, but that's not for you to deal with. That's for them to deal with. So we have Jophiel and Haniel. Haniel is going to resonate with some. The rest of you, I think Jophiel will. And it's card 5, so that's usually indicative of some change as well. Reach out to her if you would. And you can do it through your higher power, your sacred self, whatever it is. I feel like the affirmation to call on Jophiel is to help me to learn how to be compassionate, as compassionate with myself as I am with others. Help me to understand the fluidity of life. Always walk with me and walk in beauty. There you go. And be happy, and to be happy exactly where I am with what I'm doing. You are enough. Someone needs to hear that as well. Jophiel, please help all in the collective to understand they are not just enough, they are more than enough. You are more than enough. You have nothing to prove to anyone at any time. And that, my friends and community, that came from Spirit. I was even asking, why didn't we make that the vibe of the day? I like that one more. So I'm talking to them in my head, being all like a petulant teenager. Well, I like that one. Why didn't we? Because we had to be reminded that we all have wings. It's okay to have a shell and retreat when we need to, but we have wings. And let nature talk to you. Let Spirit talk to you through nature. If you see more dragonflies or butterflies, or if you see them in weird places, or you find feathers that you normally wouldn't find, or the birds talk more when you're outside, I think that's a beautiful, beautiful way to connect to Spirit. This had its ups and downs, but overall I feel like it's a very positive reading, because you in the collective, you are finding your peace. You are learning how to blend when to retreat and do self-care with measured action and focused action, not action for the sake of it. I love all of you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this. Last week was a week I would not want anyone to have to repeat. If you had a great week, then good for you. I'm glad someone did. But I feel like we are all getting ready to move into better times, more settled times, and truth. Oh, thank you. Thank you. One last message. Truths are about to be exposed. And if you thought you had truth exposed, hold on, everybody. You're getting ready to have some more. So, yeah, there's a big, it feels like, I don't want to be alarmist or anything like that. It's not bad. It's going to feel as though, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. But it's actually going to be something that will be positive in the end, okay? So just remember that. But in the moment, and it's going to be very short-lived. So in the moment, it's going to be like, what did you just say? What did I just hear? What? And then you're going to have to really be honest with yourself and say, yeah, I'm not really surprised. Okay. And then it will just whoosh, go away that fast, but it will help you make decisions, okay? I feel like I'm seeing Wednesday, so that's going to be by Wednesday, or maybe on Wednesday of this week, this coming week. What is I don't know what that date is. Let's see. That's the 23rd, I think. Yeah. Ooh, right before the full moon on the 24th. So yeah, there's going to be a bombshell truth exposed on the 23rd, and it's going to end up leading to something wonderful. So an awareness, things will make sense to you, okay? All right, I am sending you, I feel like I just wish I could hug everybody. And I'm not a real touchy-feely person. I like my bubble, you know, but sometimes I can be, but not always, because I just, energy is energy, and I get that. But, and someone else needs to hear this. You are not alone, okay? You are not alone in this world. There are other people who think and believe the same way you do. All right. We can do this. Woohoo! All right. Sending you love and gratitude. Thank you. Thank you so much. And, yeah, be interesting to see what the next reading's about, because they're always such a surprise. All right, take care of yourselves, and we'll talk soon, all right? See you later. Bye-bye.